Somebody reminded me, or somebody said something the other day, and I worked out that I must have 10 years or more of videos now on YouTube of tree work, and before that it was Google videos. But when Google bought YouTube, they all my Google videos disappeared. That account, I don't know where they went, but anyway, I made up for it since with much of the same content, and that's the point really, is that if you go through the videos, and there's well over 100, maybe there's 150 or something like that. It doesn't actually tell me when I went to look how many there is. And there's all kinds of stuff on there, you know. There's if you go back through the years that I've had this account, and there's you know, there's lots of crane work and rigging and falling and pruning, big tops, high tops, product development and release as well. There's tons of stuff, but I realise that I'm primarily working in the same region that you have been for the last nearly 6 years now here in BC, and I don't want it to I don't want to just keep on showing the same old crap, like, you know, which is perhaps why the content has become a little more sparse of recent, because I don't want to just be rehashing the same bullshit, you know. The same, it's not bullshit, but you know what I mean. It's just the same tree but in a different place, the same procedure, whatever it is, you know. It's all very predictable. So I try to keep it interesting and varied, you know. But anyway, I thought I would, you know, because I've answered like hundreds, perhaps thousands of questions over the years, you know, not just on YouTube but private email as well, from people who watch the videos or whatever, who are interested. So what I'd like to do here, and maybe occasionally, is I'm going to put a question out there, and I'd like you to answer it. I'd appreciate that. So, you know, it's stuff that I'd like to know personally. And the first one is, you know, some of it's you might think is relevant, some you might think is really not that relevant at all, but it is to me. It's just things that I'm curious about. So if you can participate, I'd appreciate it a lot, because I don't ask for much, do I? Anyway, the first thing I'd like to speak about is, now some people might, I should point out, you know, some people might get offended by some of the things that I say or I ask or I suggest, and you shouldn't do really, you know, because I'm just curious and I have my opinion, and I can't tell you what you want to hear, you know. I don't go around smiling and telling people what they want to hear, because that wouldn't be honest. That'd make me a fake person. So you'd be mildly irritated. That's fine. Okay, you can be mildly irritated, but don't be offended. Okay, just if you want to add something or give your point of view, is greatly appreciative of it. Thanks. So the first one is, do you know how you get you know, like tree companies, and they have a logo, or you know, or whatever their name is, and maybe a company or big or small, they may have like company branded clothing. Like this is the only one that I have here, the Stein shirt that I wear, or I used to wear at the trade shows when I was promoting equipment that that I designed with Stein. So that's the only one I've got. Now, obviously, I was a contract climber for over 2 decades, and that included working for, I don't know, 150 companies over the year at a rough guess. So as you can imagine, I've seen a lot of these branded t-shirts, and more than a few have been handed to me. Like, people have handed me the shirt to wear, and I've always declined. Maybe there's been 1-2 exceptions at the most, but I've generally shied away from that, because I like my clothes, to be honest, and I always felt like whoever I was working for was getting enough out of me as it was, that I was usually hired to solve problems. I was there to, be part of a team, obviously, but I didn't get too many easy tasks or easy days thrown my way. So I always wondered about this t-shirt wearing thing with the name on it, and what was behind it all. Now, I've heard the argument. It's not even an argument. There's the line of thought that it's advertising, right? And yeah, I suppose you could say that, but I don't know who you're advertising to, because I'm assuming when you are going to somebody's house or whatever to take a tree down, you've been invited there, and it's already a done deal. Same as going to do an estimate or a quote. You go there to do your estimate, and they're expecting you already there. I don't think they need to know really, that you work for Stein or Joe Smith or whatever. So that's that. I've heard that, and then I've heard others say, "Oh, it's professional." It looks professional if we're wearing the company shirt or whatever, and I don't know about that either. I don't know. It's because I have people working for me as well, and they don't work full time, but I use subcontractors who will come in and help me. They're all good, solid guys, and I never felt any need to start putting my name on their clothing. Never felt that way. If anything, I would feel like I was sort of disrespecting them, because they do enough for me as it is. Do you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, they are individuals in their own right. So as long as they're reasonably well presented and have the gear that they need, I don't see what branded t-shirts or clothing has got to do with cutting a tree down and looking professional. There are a few companies in this neck of the woods that are very well uniformed when they operate around town, and I'm really glad they're here, to be honest, because I get so much work off the back of their bad workmanship. Do you know what I mean? So many dissatisfied ex-clients of theirs who tend to fall into my lap and those of other companies operating in the region. It's great. So I'm glad they're here. But it just goes to show that the company T-shirts and whatever you, it didn't cut the mustard really. It's not the, you know, professionalism didn't come into it. You know, at the end of the day, you can either do the job or you can't. You'll do a good job or you won't, you know, and this, nobody's going to be any more forgiving of a shit job because you're wearing branded clothing, or any more thankful if you're not. So yeah, I'm not convinced by that either. One of the things that I lean towards when I have people working for me is that they're themselves. You know, I obviously they've got to do a good job and they've got to be conscientious, and if they didn't, I wouldn't be using them, you know, I wouldn't be hiring them. But, you know, I do like them to engage with the customers as individuals, do you know what I mean? I like them to kind of put their own slant on things and, you know, let their own character and personality come out, you know. What I don't want is a boring fucker representing what we do. Do you know what I mean? I don't want that. So it kind of means a lot to me if the individual has got character, you know. And then there's another argument. Well, it's not an argument. This is a theory, right? This is a theory, and it's and I know it's kind of. I can't prove it, but I've seen enough evidence of it. You know, now I'm not speaking or judging everybody, but there are some individuals, and you know, all they want, or a big part of their life, is about having control over others, you know, having, you know, their influence over other people. And you see this in our tree business as well. And you know, these individuals are not hard to spot. You know, you spend a little bit of time with them and it seems that it's not about being professional, it's about putting their name and control over other individuals. Do you know what I mean? Like, they want to see their name, whether it be Smith or Jones or whatever else. They want to see Jones written on every fucker's back or front or whatever. You know, like a controlling kind of fucking weirdo, you know. And you know, if that's you, you've got a fucking problem. Let me tell you, you've got a fucking problem, and you should speak to somebody about it. You're fucking weirdo. Weirdos, you are. But if that isn't you, then I'm not saying it is either, you know. But I'm sure everybody knows that person that I'm talking about. You know, they want their name plastered all over the place. Why? Who knows? I wouldn't like to speculate. You know what's at the root of it, but to me it's fucking weird. You know, I even one guy even said to me once, "This is somebody that I trust," because I spoke to him about it. This is a friend of mine back home, and he suggested that there's perhaps some kind of sexual gratification that these people get out of it. I mean, you know, I don't know. It's fucking bizarre, isn't it? You just never know how fucked up some people are, you know. But well, that's getting pretty dark now. But you know, anyway, let me know what you think. I'd be kind of curious, you know. And like I said, it's not this. I'm not attacking anybody. It's just something that I've come across, and you know, and I've been going forever. Like when I was, you know, I was employed for a few years when I started, and then I worked and I travelled and I went self-employed, and you know, now I run a small business here. I do really good. I've got products out there. I've been in books, DVDs, trade magazines, you know, all kinds of shit. And it's never... I don't see where wearing a company logo ever would have helped us, helped me, or what, how I would have been perhaps further along by doing that. If I did have to, if I kind of did think like, right, I'm gonna get Daryl or Dave or Aaron or Jared to start wearing t-shirts with the company name on it, then this Stein one has Stein there, but it also has my name there too. So if I was going to do that, it'd be subtle. So it'd perhaps have our company RC Tree on one side and have the individual's name on the other. Do you know what I mean? So that it's kind of the customer or whoever can identify with them as a person, not just a fucking brand or tied to me or under my control or supervision or any of that shit. Do you know what I mean? I'd do it in a tasteful way, you know, and make sure that whoever was wearing it was comfortable about it too. I would never just assume, here, fucking wear this, it's got my name on it. Do you know what I mean? Like I just, when people have done that to me over the years, I've been borderline insulted by it, and that's why I've just said, actually, no, have it back, because I quite like this, or this stripy one, or whatever it was I was wearing. So anyway, let me know what you think. Leave a comment, I'd appreciate it. And yeah, I look forward to hearing your feedback, whatever it is, or your reasoning. If you are a company and you like people to wear t-shirts with your name on, or your brand or your company name, let me know what's behind it, because I've never actually asked too many people. You know, all these people that I've given t-shirts back, you know, a lot of them I've never said, look, what the fuck's this about? Like, what's at the root of it, really? Is it just a on the surface thing, or is there something fucking weird about you? Do you know what I mean? I've never got into it. I've just been, right, no thanks, and that's the end of it. So yeah, get back to me. Thanks for watching.